Okay, so hi guys. I want you to take a look at what I wrote here. What do you think this is? Well, this is what I mean when I say this is a name, okay? This whole entity right here is a name. Now, what does a name compose of? Well, a name basically shows how a variable is nested within the very symbol tables that it lives in, okay? So you look right here, you see, oh my goodness, where's the variable? Where are these symbol tables, or what is all this stuff? Well, it turns out that the very last thing, this very last term right here is a variable, okay? A scalar variable. This is a scalar variable that is stored in the dear symbol table, which is then stored in the helper symbol table, and finally this Santa symbol table, okay? And this whole entity, once again, is called name. So therefore, we know that symbol tables can be nested. And the symbol tables can be nested, right? But if you want to just name all the symbol tables at once, then what we can do is erase this, erase this. With respect to the dear variable that was right here, this is just, you can just flat out call this the symbol table, okay? If you just use the word symbol table, it basically, people will understand that you mean the very symbol tables that this variable is embedded within, okay? Now, I just want to write this down. A symbol table in Perl is also known as a package, okay? Whoa. So these are often called symbol variables. So these, meaning the symbol table, are often called package variables. In essence, a package variable is just a fancy word for like a global variable, okay? They mean the same thing. Okay, so then let's look at something else. So remember the diagram I drew in that one of the last lectures where I had 3 boxes, and then you had your lexical variables in here and your global variables or package variables out here. Well, you can obviously tell that the package or global variables have a bigger scope than one of the I'm blanking. Package. No. Lexical variables. Sorry, they have a bigger scope than the lexical variables. So how does it? So let's pose a question right now. Let's say you have some random variable. This is just a random variable. Well, how does Perl know what type of variable it is and stuff? So first of all, it searches this variable for its lexical scope. Okay, given a variable, it looks for it in terms of a lexical scope, a scope within a particular block of code. So if it doesn't find this, it looks for another lexical scope. But this lexical scope is bigger than this one, and this inner one is nested within this outer one, okay? So then the Perl code keeps on doing this, making these searches until you get the whole file, okay? The whole file is the biggest lexical scope that can be. Larry Wall actually writes, file is the largest lexical scope. A lexically scoped variable can never be visible outside the file in which it's declared, okay? That's very, very important. After this, finally, the Perl interpreter then looks for this bigger scope. I'm gonna make it a square, okay, to differentiate from the other ones, from the circles. Now it's looking in terms of the package scope, okay? Package, it's looking, it knows that this is not just some particular variable restricted to some particular block of code. So now it suspects that maybe it's a global variable and looks for a package scope, okay? Now, this is basically the idea of how the Perl interpreter searches for variables and identifies them, okay? So now, the last thing I'm over time, but I want to read a few things that Larry Wall has written. He writes, a variable may only attach to one scope, okay? It's either lexically scoped or packagely scoped. Only one, okay? Okay, and I think once you understand this idea, that there's really nothing to it. This is a key idea to understand, okay? And remember the hierarchy I was talking about some blocks can be ordered into modules and stuff? Well, this is where it comes into play, okay? This hierarchy right here builds even further up, builds upon the hierarchy that I laid out earlier, okay? And this is, I don't know about you, but this is actually quite interesting if you think about it. So that's all I have. Have a good day.